The project that Kate and I have been working on is, we've called it Ripon, because of our meeting has been based on the fact that we both walk up Ripon regularly, Ripon Tor on Dartmoor. Kate's studio looks out onto the back of Ripon, and my studio in Totnes, actually I can see it from there, so we're both sort of either side of this beautiful outcrop, and that was the starting point for the project.
Anita approached me in November last year, largely because we had shared studio spaces in the past on the edge of Dartmoor, and because of our shared interest in Dartmoor and working on Dartmoor. And we began by talking about the project, going for walks, and the project has developed from there.
It's just great. Yeah. So they're definitely talking to each other, aren't they? And also, I think because you've trained. When you collaborate with somebody, you develop a working relationship with each other. We generally go straight into fairly deep conversations about our work. So we've been mentoring each other. And having another mentor of someone on the same level as you is incredibly useful. And then I tried a print with my printing ink plus discoveries that we've made along the way have been, firstly, getting to know each other, and we have quite different characters. Kate has an amazing calmness about her, and I'm much more sort of highly coiled, so it's quite a good balance. So that's the one I've used mixed for all of those prints.
Working in collaboration with Anita has involved getting to know her and her me, meeting together, long conversations, walks, exploring our shared interest in this area of Dartmoor where we're both working a great deal.
A renewed passion for Dartmoor. We both visit so many times, but it's been the connection with the place has deepened because of the conversations we've had while we've been walking and while we've been back in the studios, discovering where to take work and what our common interests are. Yeah, because of the edge.
A shared sense of humour is great. Openness, ability to listen, and to make yourself perhaps a little vulnerable with the work that you're producing, which may be rubbish, working towards something better happening.
That's lovely.
We had an idea perhaps of spending a day a week on it, maybe longer if we could put it in around other things. And then normal life intervenes and teaching commitments and so on and so forth. So it's harder to keep on track with the time. You still have to maintain your practice and make a living while you're working on this long-term project.
What have we got there? When I first was presented with a piece of clay from Kate, I thought, oh, well, I'm a printmaker, and sort of arrogance stepped in. You know, I'm a maker, I'll be able to do this. Really isn't very straightforward. You know, taking on somebody else's medium, it's just using the stuff, it's sticky, it gets, you know, it's not the same as ink. So having respect for somebody else's craft has been really good for me. And I've made some really ugly pots. They're sort of doorstop quality, but I found the surface decoration much easier because that's more akin to painting and printmaking. So if I was to give you a list of do's and don'ts about collaborating, my list would be: choose your collaborator wisely. It really helps if you know them quite well, or if you don't know them quite well but you know you'd like to work with them, get to know them.
I think the biggest do is to be open. For instance, when we started, one of the things we did was to spend some time engaged in each other's practice, which is wonderful, learning how the other person works. From my point of view, having dipping my toe into printing, not very successfully.
Definitely manage your time well. That's a do. Make sure you commit to meeting up. You are now accountable to somebody else, which has actually made my own personal time management better.
Responding to the other person's work in the pieces that you are making for a new project. And another really important part of collaboration for me was that it gave me the opportunity to move from one major project to another, to develop my work in a slightly new direction, which has been great.
Very similar to this colour of this paper as well, isn't it? So
I think that the dynamism that I strive to introduce in some of my work and the dynamism which is evident in Anita's work will complement one another beautifully.
it's really important to talk to each other. That's why collaborating is so good. Sharing and actually having a chance to talk openly and honestly about what you're about.